Welcome back to the Dunmis concept. I'm Pastor Dwayne Schaff. Cody Simpson's filming. And wow, this has been a wild ride. We're just going to continue talking about those three purposes that are effective in each one of our lives. You were created on purpose, with a purpose, for a purpose. And the last time we did a video, I talked about the fact that to really rise up to that call of God in your life, you needed to have three things. You needed to have passion, you need to have pursuit, and you needed to have thick skin. You need to be able to endure what people were going to say about you. You needed to endure what people are going to say to you. And keeping on with that whole thought process, what we're going to talk about today is you also need to have a determination. And that's a determination in your heart to be who it is God has called you to be. Once again, we're going to jump back into the Old Testament. We're going to start in 1 Kings, and then we're going to move into 2 Kings. We're going to 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 19 to 21, and it's really simple. And it's talking about Elijah and Elijah. Right? And it says this, starting verse 19. So he departed from there and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with the 12 yoke, plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him, and he was with the 12th. Then Elijah passed by him and threw his mantle on him, and he left the oxen and ran after Elijah and said, "Please let me go kiss my father and my mother, and then I will follow you." And he said to him, "Go back again, for what have I done to you?" So Elijah turned back from him and took a yoke of oxen and slaughtered them and boiled their flesh, using the oxen's equipment, and gave it to the people, and they ate. Then he arose and he followed Elijah and became his servant. Now, what you got to understand here is Elijah's plowing the fields. He's just doing some work, and Elijah comes walking by and throws his coat at him. And Elijah recognizes that he's been called for something, but he hasn't quite determined in his heart that he wants to go. And so he says, "Listen, let me go talk to my mom. Let me go talk to my dad, and we'll see if this is the best decision for me." And Elijah says, "Listen, what have I done for you? Really, what have I done? I just threw my coat at you. You gave me my coat back. Great. I'm going to keep going. You do whatever you're going to do." And at that moment, Elijah decides in his heart that he's going to pursue the call and leave the past in the past. He kills a yoke of oxen, and he burns the plow, and he cooks the meat, and he feeds the people. He successfully ruins his past at that point in time. He couldn't go back there. He couldn't go back to what he was. He only had to move forward. And he had a determination in his heart. The Bible says that he went and he pursued Elijah. He had a determination in his heart to be that person. And he kept on going. He kept on going. If we jump ahead now into 2 Kings chapter 2, starting in verse 1, Elijah knows that he's going to be called up into heaven that day. And he says to Elijah, he says, "Listen, wait here. Don't follow me anymore. Just wait here. God has called me to Bethel." And Elijah says, "No way." He says, "As the Lord lives, as your soul lives, I will not stop following you. I will stay with you. I will not leave your side." And he goes with him to Bethel. And in Bethel, it says the sons of the prophets were there. And they said to him, "Don't you know that your master is going to be taken into heaven today?" And he says, "Yeah, don't talk about it." He said, I'm not going to let his future stop my commitment. I'm not going to let what's going on with him stop me from being the person I was called to be. And then it was the same. "Oh, stay here. I got to go to Jericho." "No, I'm following." "Stay here. I got to go to the Jordan." "No, I'm following." He would not let anything stop him from living up to the determination he made in his own heart. He just kept pursuing it and kept pursuing it. And finally, Elijah says to him, "What do you want?" And he says, "I want twice what you had. As great as you were, I want to be even greater for God. As good as you were, I want to be even better for God. I want to be the best person that God made me to be." And Elijah says, "This is a hard thing, but if you stay focused on what you were already determined in your heart, you will receive it. If you see me when I go, you'll receive it." And the Bible is very clear. It says that they were separated by a whirlwind. They were separated. But Elijah would not stop looking. And he saw him as he went. and he took his clothes, and immediately, here's the kicker. This is the last part that we're going to read. It says he gets back to the river of Jordan, and he rolls up Elijah's mantle, which was now his mantle. It had fallen from the sky to him. It was his. He rolls it up, and the same way Elijah had used it, he uses it, and he smacks the ground, and he says, where is the God of Elijah? Where is my promise? And too many people in life, they've received a promise, but they're not willing to find out for sure if they've got it. Listen, if you're being determined, if you're pursuing God, it's time for you to put God's promise to the test in your life. Where are you? Where is my mountain? Where is my victory? And you will see God revealing himself to you. Amen?